The tagline is bringing mass spectrometry to life, and the focus of it is dried matrix spots. So that's the target application. So how do you automate mass spec? How do you simplify the sample prep process? In dried matrix spots, it can be blood, urine, saliva for biofluids, or it could just be really any liquid sample dried down on paper. And how do you get meaningful information back out of it?
I thought it was really cool that you were able to provide a pretty creative metaphor about giving the mass spec sight through the computer and taste through the surface sampling. Could you walk the listeners through what that concept really means?
Clever. I appreciate the little pat on the back there. I kind of felt like a bit of a Dr. Frankenstein making that analogy in the sense of, the mass spec's the stationary instrument that sits on top of the bench. And so as you try to automate that, both the sampling process and then the mass spec analysis, how do you do that? So first off, the mass spec needs to be able to see. So I had this idea. My background's mostly microfluidics, but if you could impart into the sample some sort of pattern, that if you could give the mass spec quote unquote eyes, so to say, and that's where a camera comes in. So we have a sort of an automated sampling platform where it can move the sampling apparatus around, but it's almost operating blindly, or it's only going where we tell it to go. So now if you can give it sight through this camera computer vision program, and it can recognize a specific pattern on your substrate, it can essentially steer itself towards where it needs to go. And then the taste aspect was sort of the analogy for like, how do you actually get the sample into the mass spectrometer? I think everybody's probably familiar with direct injection, like you might see with GC or some sort of LC method. In this case, it's a unique sort of sampling tool called the liquid microjunction surface sampling probe. Bit of a mouthful, LMJ-SSP, but it's essentially just a continuously flowing droplet on a stick, two concentric tubes. And so you just touch that to the surface. That probe is held by the printer, which is guided by the camera. It's letting the mass spec lick, we kind of say, just as an easy way to phrase it, your sample, and you get direct surface information from that.